Hey,
Scott, start with any update on Josh Morrissey? Any idea of the
lower
significance?
body, we got to see how he is tomorrow. Obviously, couldn't play the rest of the game there, fell into the goalpost. So
He did try the one shift.
yeah, it just was hurting. So
Obviously, that puts a big strain on your remaining five, especially because of who it is that's out. To just maybe take us through what you thought that looked like.
yeah, I think what's this, the fourth time I believe it's happened, fourth or fifth time. Kudos to those guys. They did a heck of a job. Everybody else stepping up. Billy Cogs going in there, kind of playing as a pair. I thought they did a really good job. And guys, sometimes when you get into situations like that, you don't have a chance to think, and you just go play, and all you're trying to do is get your breath back and get back out there again. And just a great job by all five of those guys.
7-1, I believe, was the final penalty disparity there. It includes 2 double minors. So just want to ask you about, in Rasmus's case, do you get an explanation there? Because he's obviously impeded, and they call that. In a follow-through on a shot, a player doesn't, you're allowed to not have control of your stick. That doesn't apply when a player is tripped?
No.
Did you know that, or was that
I didn't. That's what I was kind of trying to figure out, was the fact that he got slew foot, and on the way down his stick came up, and they said you have to be responsible for the stick. So I have nowhere to go on it. The only thing I could challenge whether or not it was 2 or 4.
And then on Logan Stanley's one, didn't look like there was initially a call. Is that one that, as far as you know, did the linesman call that?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And some have suggested they thought that was a glove that hit him as opposed to...
No, I think he got hit with a stick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just back to the defenseman there, like in terms of adversity and what this group has faced on the back end, like when you take a step back, how big is it for the fact that your decor, a lot of guys that maybe wouldn't be getting big minutes have in important games down the stretch, and how big can that be for you guys for the entire year going forward?
Yeah, it's huge for us to have guys playing meaningful games. It just gets them in as part of the mix, feeling comfortable about how we play. Some of the guys are new to our organization, so they haven't had a chance to kind of play with us, so they've get an opportunity doing that. It gives us a read really on kind of watching them, in fast-moving water and kind of seeing how they play in those situations. And for those guys to go through, was it Cogs' game 4, Philly's game 14, like for them to go through these situations and continue to, to improve and do those things, that's all growth that we need from them.
Connor Hellebuyck, when he got the first star and was the fans gave an ovation, he grabbed the crest on his jersey and was holding it as the fans applauded him. Connor's embraced this city, and you yourself, who's become a resident of the city, has been here for a while. That sort of love affair between Connor and the city, just how lucky is the city to have a player like that, and just kind of what does that do for a franchise when there's that bond, especially for a smaller market?
Well, the biggest thing for me is that he signed that 8-year deal last summer. And that just proved that he loves being here. He loves a lot of what Winnipeg brings, what Manitoba brings, especially the outdoor stuff. His love for the fans is based on how they cheer his name and how they give him standing ovations, and he loves to show that back like that. And for him, he's earned it all, and 300 is a heck of a milestone, and you got to tip your hat to greatness that way, and you'd always love to see it when guys want to be here, and then how the fans reciprocate that back.
The numbers suggest what he's doing, the speed at which he gets to 300 is historical. I'm wondering, in your time in the game, have you seen anything out of the kind of goalie world that you think is comparable, or is this kind of just uncharted territory from what you've seen?
Well, I think there's been sort of era goalies. I don't want to go too far back and give away my age, but I mean, if you go through Brodeur, you go through Patrick Waugh, you work your way up. What I had a chance to be around Hank in New York. There's just like elite players that are on the ice trying to score goals. When you see goalies do it, obviously, because of the, having that play that position. It's just like the third period tonight, those shots that were coming at them, and especially on that penalty kill, that's a greatness that you see, and then to be able to be around that, to watch that, be in front of that, or be on a bench watching that every night. That's special for me. I mean, these guys are, they come along every so often, and he's one of those guys, and hopefully he's here. We've got him for a few more years, which is great.
And to the point of the crowd and the way it interacted with your team and the things that they were doing tonight, I know how much they appreciated it as a coach. The way that your team the spine stiffened at that moment towards the end of the game. What did you see from your team there?
Yeah, obviously we got up. Bad first 5 minutes. Probably actually our first 5 shifts weren't very good. They really came at us. Ellie made some stops. We took over the last 15 minutes of that period, got up 3-0. I thought we were pretty sloppy in the second, but the crowd can lift you, and that kill that we had in the third period, the 5-on-3, and us going out and scoring our power play, that crowd. Like I said, I got asked this morning about outside people and what their thoughts are about us. We have our fans and we have our people that are Jets supporters, and we know when they're in behind us, and that's that's been an awful lot this year, and we appreciate that, and it helps pick our bench up sometimes when we're down in games, or when if we're down a goal, or we're not playing at our best. It's just something that picks us all up, and that's what you love to see.
That's a unique moment, that mid-game 5-on-3 kill and then into the standing ovation. And I'm thinking of the guys who are on the ice, like Adam Lowry, Neil Pionk, Dylan DeMello, were 3 veterans who don't get a ton of highlight reels or all of the accolades or what have you, but they're getting a standing ovation for your team. What does that mean to you as a coach to see these important cogs get recognized?
I think it just shows how much the word team is important for winning, and your top guys have to be their best, but then you need role players. You need people that step into those situations that help you win hockey games, and that very well could have been a situation where they came back and tied that game up just because of the penalties. And when your leader or your captain is starting it, everybody's following along, but like you mentioned there, role players are a big part of it. You don't win any kind of championship, you don't get anywhere without the depth of your team contributing, and that's just a big part of what we ask.
And one more on Connor Hellebuyck. There was a time at the end of last season where he was saying, well, I don't know, maybe I need to change my game. He doubles down on himself again, and he gets it right. It's even better this year than last, and he won the Vezina Trophy last year. Can you even put into perspective the uniqueness of the personality that you have to be him, being like, I'm going to do it my way, and then he got better?
Yeah, I think that's just his drive, just kind of how he prepares. I think that he looked at a lot of what happened last year. I know he's talked to lots of people, Flats and myself. I mean, there's been lots of conversations, and that's what he's talked about. He's gonna, there's things that he knows that when he's doing well, he's unbeatable, and he's just a type of goaltender that is driven. Is going back to your question about sort of the greatness, top goalies. You have a chance to be around elite players in this league. They're in a different mindset, how they approach things, and that's Helly. It's for him to say that I'm going to overhaul this, or I'm going to go back and just be me, or whatever it is. He came in and he told you guys he was going to do it, and he did it. So, it's obviously, it's bonus for us. All right, thank you.